I'm very skeptical that there would be any early resumption of talks. That said, I think there could be talks in the future. Throughout these last 2-3 months of hope, there has never been any statement from the North Koreans about their preparedness in any kind of time frame that we could live with, their preparedness to give up all their nuclear weapons. So my suggestion would be that President Trump should be sincere about keeping the avenues of dialogue open, and perhaps send some professional diplomats to kind of sound out where the North Koreans could be and see whether there's some common ground that could be found in a summit between the two leaders. Whether the two leaders tell jokes to one another or just stare at each other, it's already been a success because there's an agreement on a joint statement. And I think they ought to get to work on that. And I know the President considers himself a great deal maker. I would humbly suggest this is a little more difficult when you have sovereign nations involved than perhaps things that he's been involved in before. A non-productive summit would be worse because there's no place to go once the two presidents have met. Now, presumably they could have some kind of presidential meeting in which they have already agreed that they'll get their staffs to work on kind of laying out an entire program for denuclearization. But I think to go in there without any idea of what you're coming out with and to do so at the presidential level is frankly worse than having no summit at all.